let me ask a slightly philosophical, fun question. Gotta ask. I know you're focused on getting to Mars, but once we're there on Mars, what form of government, economic system, political system do you think would work best for an early civilization of humans? The interesting reason to talk about this stuff, it also helps people dream about the future. I know you're really focused about the short-term engineering dream, but it's like, I don't know, there's something about imagining an actual civilization on Mars that gives people, really gives people hope.
Well, it would be a new frontier and an opportunity to rethink the whole nature of government, just as was done in the creation of the United States. So, I would suggest having direct democracy, like people vote directly on things, as opposed to representative democracy. So, representative democracy, I think, is too subject to special interests and, a coercion of the politicians and that kind of thing. So I'd recommend that there's just direct democracy. People vote on laws, the population votes on laws themselves, and then the laws must be short enough that people can understand them.
Yeah, and then keeping a well-informed populace, really being transparent about all the information about what they're voting for.
Absolute transparency.
Yeah. And not make it as annoying as those cookies. We have to accept the
cookies. There's always a slight amount of trepidation when you click accept cookies. I feel as though there's perhaps a very tiny chance that it'll open a portal to hell or something like that.
That's exactly how I feel.
Why do they keep wanting me to accept it? What do they want with this cookie? Somebody got upset with accepting cookies or something somewhere. Who cares? It's so annoying to keep accepting all these cookies.
To me, this is just a great...
Yes, you can have my damn cookie. I don't care. Whatever.
You heard it from Elon first. He accepts all of your damn cookies.
Yeah. And start asking me. It's annoying.
Yeah, it's one example of implementation of a good idea done really horribly.
Yeah, it's somebody who's there's some good intentions of privacy or whatever, but now everyone just has to click accept cookies, and it's now, you have billions of people who have to keep clicking accept cookie. It's super annoying. Then we just accept the damn cookie. It's fine. There is I think a fundamental problem that because we've not really had a major a world war or something like that in a while, and obviously we'd like to not have world wars. There's not been a cleansing function for rules and regulations. So wars did have, some silver lining in that there would be a reset on rules and regulations after a war. So World Wars I and II, there were huge resets on rules and regulations. Now, if the society does not have a war and there's no cleansing function or garbage collection for rules and regulations, then rules and regulations will accumulate every year because they're immortal. There's no actual... Humans die, but the laws don't. So we need a garbage collection function for rules and regulations. They should not just be immortal, because some of the rules and regulations that are put in place will be counterproductive, done with good intentions, but counterproductive. Sometimes not done with good intentions. So if rules and regulations just accumulate every year and you get more and more of them, then eventually you won't be able to do anything. You're just like Gulliver with tied down by thousands of little strings. And we see that in, U.S. and basically all economies that have been around for a while, and regulators and legislators create new rules and regulations every year, but they don't put effort into removing them. And I think that's very important that we put effort into removing rules and regulations. But it gets tough because you get special interests that then are dependent on, they have a vested interest in that whatever rule and regulation, and that they fight to not get it removed.
Yeah. So I guess the problem with the Constitution is it's kind of like C versus Java, because it doesn't have any garbage collection built in. I think there should be. When you first said the metaphor of garbage collection, I loved it.
From a coding standpoint.
From a coding standpoint, yeah. It would be interesting if the laws themselves kind of had a built-in thing where they kind of die after a while unless somebody explicitly publicly defends them.
Yeah.
So so it's not like somebody has to kill them. They kind of die themselves. They disappear.
Yeah.
Not to defend Java or anything, but the C++, you could also have great garbage collection in Python and so on.
Yeah. So something needs to happen, or just the civilization's arteries just harden over time, and you can just get less and less done because there's just a rule against everything. So I think, like, I don't know, for Mars or whatever, I'd say, or even for, obviously for Earth as well, like, I think there should be an active process for removing rules and regulations and questioning their existence. Just like, if we've got a function for creating rules and regulations, because rules and regulations you can also think of as like, they're like software or lines of code for operating civilization. That's the rules and regulations. So it's not like we shouldn't have rules and regulations, but you have code accumulation, but no code removal. And so it just gets to become basically archaic bloatware after a while. And it's just, it makes it hard for things to progress. So I don't know, maybe Mars, you'd have like any given law must have a sunset, and require active voting to keep it up there, I'd actually also say, like, and these are just, I don't know, recommendations or thoughts, ultimately will be up to the people on Mars to decide, but I think it should be easier to remove a law than to add one, because of just to overcome the inertia of laws. So maybe it's like, for argument's sake, you need, like, say 60% vote to have a law take effect, but only a 40% vote to remove it.